the Comedy Crossword Podcast.
Welcome to One Down, the Comedy Crossword Podcast. I'm Brendan Eyre. I'm with Greg Warren. Greg, difficult decision who even should introduce the podcast this week.
Ty always goes to Brendan.
Okay. Well, that should tell you a little something. Double clean, baby.
Double clean, baby. Is this the second time in the history of this podcast?
In the history of the world, Greg. You might as well have taken two baths today because you are double clean, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's something. And it I'll tell you, not to get into the tedium of this, but I sort of let Friday sit there. Like I couldn't get Friday. There was some stuff in the bottom right around Texas, sort of South Central. And I there's two or three clues. I thought I was Natick or iron crossed.
Don't use their words. Don't let them win. It's the iron cross of death.
Their term's a little better when it's a verb.
That sure wasn't what you were saying when I told you about Natick.
Yeah, Brendan, I'm a flip-flopper. Yeah. Anyways, I got Natick on Friday, but then yesterday afternoon, I was like, let me take another run at this, and I came up with something. I think the key was I had impart, and I should have impact, and that might have been Saturday.
Well, whenever that was a great subtle misdirect, because I would imagine most people thought it was some form of impel or impart. We'll get there when we get there, but it was.
No, I'm looking at the message boards. It said only morons didn't get impact.
You are quick to those message boards.
Yeah, I got it.
Speaking of message boards, my sister was over hanging out with Amy and the baby yesterday, and told me a really funny story. Both her and Amy are they love that Nextdoor, which is I'm sure some of our listeners are involved in it. It's the app where you kind of get people share neighborhood news. So you say where you put in where you live, and you get little news about your neighborhood or problems, anything like that. And it's very popular. It's a booming app, and a lot of the talk in Cleveland Heights, where I live, has been coyotes. There's coyotes about, Greg, which is concerning because, of course, that's they'll eat your cats. They'll oftentimes they'll paint a tunnel on a wall that doesn't actually have a tunnel on it.
Yeah, but, man, they'll climb to a high point in the neighborhood and push a boulder off,
and it'll somehow hit them. You don't know how, but.
I would guess the sales at the Acme store in your neighborhood are just
off the charts. Yeah, off the charts. So a woman made a new post. My sister told me she goes, I just want everyone to know. I know the coyote thing is kind of troubling, but we got bigger problems. I saw a wolf, and she's got a picture there, and there's all this arguing about. Whether or not wolves would be found in Cleveland, and and finally some guy just writes, that's clearly a stock picture of a wolf, and and the woman goes, I never said the picture was the wolf that I saw.
Well, you were misleading, and also is a wolf more dangerous than a coyote?
Because a wolf is way big.
Really?
A coyote's no threat to a human. Even a dog, a bigger dog, a coyote is no threat. A wolf is much bigger than a coyote. But doing that, first of all, by just posting a stock image and saying, I never said it was you're assuming people just didn't know what a wolf was. I saw a wolf. Yeah. If you're wondering, it's one of these. And then the best part, Kylie said,
if she did in fact see the wolf, I support her with that stock picture, because she didn't have a chance to take a picture, and she's trying to warn people. And the best way to warn is show that picture of that wolf and start people.
Now, is this a St. Louis thing? You seem to drop the L out of wolf. Are you a wolf guy? Is that a St. Louis thing?
I never thought of it. Wolf.
Wolf.
What wolf?
Oh, wolf. Now
I'll tell you one of my favorite comedians, Michelle Wolf.
Now, the best part of the thread, my sister said, was after all this, and people were like getting at her for the stock photo and all this, some guy who just clearly didn't read any of the thread just goes, "That's definitely a picture of my neighbor's dog." And that was just the end of the thread.
Yeah, man. I bet you a lot of those next door threads end with that sort of
Oh yeah.
type
It's
stuff.
I mean, I don't get involved in there. Amy's
I think this thing in the long run, it's not going to bring neighbors closer.
no. There's a lot of they like to complain about neighbors that aren't on there, only to find they are on there. Yeah.
I say we get to the puzzles, Brendan. Enough chit chat. This is we got to take this week seriously. It was an accomplishment for both.
It was
of us.
an accomplishment, and and we started. It was the start of a new month. It was started February 1st. Salil, I believe, is that how you pronounce it? Because we have Salil Moon Fry, who is the actress.
Sure.
Salil Saint Cyr.
I mean, Soleil would probably be.
Yeah, Cirque du Soleil.
Would
But as a name,
The
I
sun.
always heard it pronounced Salil Moon Fry. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Either
I think
Soleil
you're right.
or
Yeah.
Salil Saint Cyr.
I mean, there was the old, the SPF sunscreen. It was not banned to Soleil,
Yeah. Okay, Soleil Saint Cyr went with the Monday theme of hive mind. 3 terms that filled out full across the grid answers. And the second half of those answers were types of bees. So we had essential worker, homecoming queen, and U.S. military drone. Fine Monday theme, I thought.
Yeah. Just thought, did anybody ever do a parody of Billy Ocean's Caribbean Queen to Homecoming Queen?
I don't know.
Because if Weird Al didn't do that, that would be a hit, right?
Yeah. I mean, if Weird Al is listening, which the chances are good he is, take Homecoming
Weird Al.
Queen from Billy Ocean.
Homecoming Queen would be a fantastic parody.
47 down, Greg. Injures. That's maims, M-A-I-M-S. And that is accurate. I have no problem with that answer. But when it comes to injuries, being maimed is sort of on the far end of the spectrum. You know what I mean? When you're I got injured playing pickup basketball. Would you sprain your ankle? No, my nose got cut off.
Yeah. Yeah, and the opposite is true too. If a guy's, I got maimed in a pickleball game.
Well, what happened? Was your ear cut off with a sword?
Nah, pulled my calf muscle. It was a maiming of first order.
I'm maimed beyond repair. I can't even look at my own face in the mirror. You said it was your calf. Shut up. I'm maimed.
I'm maimed. That's the way I say it. Brendan, I'm introducing a new segment.
Wonderful.
34 across factory inspection organization. That's OSHA. 60 across Qatari leader. That's Amir. I call this Battle of the Overused Crossword Words.
I love it.
Brendan, OSHA, or Amir, which one is more overused? You are the decider.
Man, first of all, excellent segment, excellent picks. they've been coming hot and heavy with OSHA for a couple weeks now, but I think overall I've got to go with Amir because Amir. They come back to the Amir well.
I say you are correct, sir.
That's
what I say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amir, let's give Amir a break. Or maybe, is there a guy named Amir you could put in there? Maybe. Or something else other than, a sultan, essentially.
2
down, prize money. That's a purse. Greg, I don't know if you know this about me. I've had a lot of jobs, but I was a boxing promoter for a while. I was a boxing promoter, and I will tell you something, little tip if you're looking to get into that game. Those guys hate it when you give them the money in an actual purse. They get furious. They go, I'm not walking out of here with this. You say, I said it was a purse.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I said it was a purse.
I can imagine.
You know?
I'll tell you what makes them even more angry is when you say, hey, there's going to be a prize purse. And that is the actual prize is the purse itself.
Yes. I did that a couple times.
Oh, I did that. I
remember that. Yeah, we were. It was funny. We've never talked about this, but we were fierce competitors.
Fierce competitors. It was. We don't bring that up. You know, we wound up working together. But I had this Larry Holmes fight, and he won. And I gave him this Louis Vuitton purse, and he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "It's a very expensive purse.
It's a high value purse."
Yeah. I don't know. 22 Across, do a new production of as a recording that's remastered. And Brendan, I've been thinking, what if we remastered these podcast episodes? Do you think I think that's the thing that would put us over the top.
People have been waiting for years for the remaster.
From what I hear, when you do you go through the remastering process, makes it much more fun.
Oh, sure. It makes it more funny, enjoyable, listenable. Somehow more people find it. You got to remaster things. And that's, I've said from the get-go, I'm not out here to win the first time around. I'm doing this for the remaster.
Yeah.
George Lucas always on some type of cash grab, and I respect Lucas, the man invented Star Wars, but they re-released all the originals with some added CGI and stuff like that. And at the end, when Luke, Darth Vader turns good and kills the Emperor and all that, and everything's good. And Obi-Wan Kenobi.
What a jerk! What a jerk!
Greg is pretending that I've spoiled a 40-year-old movie franchise.
What a jerk!
Well, they
been saving that for the end of the pandemic, and you just what a jerk.
Well, what they in the remastered version. So at the end, the ghost of Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi are overlooking Luke. In the remastered versions, they add Anakin Skywalker, who is Darth Vader, and the ghost of him. But it's like, if you watch the prequels, when he turned bad, he killed everyone at the Jedi Temple, including all of the children. And it's like, hey, man, just because he did this one thing with the Emperor, I don't think he gets to stand. I don't think he's redeemed into the celebratory ghost section.
I speak for myself and the listeners. Everybody fell asleep 5 minutes ago. Let's go to Tuesday.
Tuesday, February 2nd was Adesina O Koiki. And the theme was essentially tennis court surfaces. You had grasshopper, hard knocks, and claymation. Those are the three major tennis court surfaces. 2 facts about tennis court surfaces, Greg, that you may not have known. First of all, most common tennis court surface in the world is clay, which shocked me.
Wow.
Shocking, but
that's a different sort of it's soft,
you don't
right?
get it in America very often. But then second of all, what slight change to tennis court surfaces do you think had a drastic impact on television ratings? Can you answer that question? They changed. They went from green hard courts to blue hard courts.
And really? Just look better on TV?
You can't see the ball on the green hard courts.
You can see the ball.
You can see the ball clearly, and ratings shot through the roof relatively.
I felt like this was a nice puzzle, but they overlooked one of the surfaces, the most common surfaces.
What's that?
in a certain area of the country. There's a reason why all the Russians are good in tennis. You got Maria Sharapova and Kornikova, who wasn't great, but she was very good. Yes. Marat Safin. A lot of Russians as kids, they play on
ice tennis. Yes.
Yeah. And it just makes them better.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. I know you know a lot about this. There was a lot of times.
Oh, and quite a bit.
Yeah,
about
a lot of
Russian
times what
ice.
they do to really kind of keep them light on their feet and quick is they'd play thin ice tennis. Which was, it was, known for sort of extreme training techniques, but it paid off. It paid off.
Yeah. The 5 down red cards in a soccer match. Those are ousts. And of course, Brendan was a very accomplished soccer player. I never understood this whole yellow card, red card thing, Brendan. It's the yellow card, hey, that was bad, but we're not going to kick you out. The red card, we're going to kick you out. Now, why do there have to be colors and cards? Why couldn't the ref go, hey man, you're out of the game? Why do they have to hold up a colored piece of plastic?
Technically, they don't really have to, but I mean, it's technically because
you know what this means. You know what this means. It's red. Red.
Because 2 yellows will get you a red. That's so the yellow
again. The ref could just be like, do it again,
right.
And you're
same
out.
as the baseball system, where they'll warn a specific player.
The baseball system, they don't have any cards.
They don't have the cards.
And I think the card steals from the a moment for the umpire or the referee in the case of soccer. Whereas, when an umpire throws a guy out of the game, he can do it with a lot of conviction and a lot of flair, But if you got to hold up a card, it limits sort of.
Yeah. Well, there's also the card system opens up a lot of possibilities if you figure out the guy left his cards at home. You know what I mean? Then it's a free-for-all. This guy's got no cards.
Yeah.
He's got no recourse. The rules are out the window.
And that's tricky because they got guys stabbing each other in the field. And he's like, man, if I did not forget my cards, you would be in a lot of trouble, mister.
You are lucky.
You got
14
you got any more for
Sonic
Tuesday?
the Hedgehog Company. That's Sega. And boy, this is an embarrassing admission, but I wasn't allowed video.
Couldn't be as embarrassing as that whole Star Wars
People love that
stuff that
people
put everybody to
love
sleep
that,
and
Greg.
lost us half our listeners.
Yeah, we just gained 100. You say Star Wars on anything, you just gain 1,000 listeners. I wasn't really allowed video games when I was younger. We never had a Nintendo or anything, and my parents eventually got me a Sega Genesis for Christmas, and it was crazy to me because I thought they'd never let me have video games, and it was unbelievable, and I loved it. And there was this rumor around school that there was a code that you could put into the game Mortal Kombat where the character Sonya would remove all of her clothes. I thought the only way, this was pre-internet really, the AOL was out a little bit, but it took you an hour and a half to even log on. I thought, well, I'll call Sega. So I called up Sega USA, waited on hold for about 3 hours, and then asked the guy about a naked code for Sonya and Mortal Kombat. And the guy said to me, I always remember it, he said, first of all, there's no such thing. Second of all, if there was, do you really think you could call Sega and we would tell you? And I said, well, when you put it...
Then you should have said, so there is
one. So you're telling me I got a shot.
Yeah. That's hilarious, man. That's a good story, man.
It was embarrassing.
You should go on your act, man. So you got the Sega Genesis. We grew up during different eras. I got Genesis' second album. Still, Phil Collins still in the band. There's some good stuff here on this. 36 down, trips to support conservation. Those are eco tours. And this was sort of embarrassing, Brendan. I saved up a bunch of money when I, first got out of college, about 2 years working, and I'm like, I'm gonna go on one of these eco tours for vacation, and I pay my money deposit, and then I pay the whole thing. It wasn't cheap, and we go to the eco tour, and man, this guy is leading the tour, and he's a jerk, frankly. He's taking us around his town and his high school, and he's like, now here is where I got 4.0 my sophomore year, and then we go over to the football field, and he's like, this is I was pretty much of a star here. I was a kind of leader of the team, and scored 37 touchdowns my sophomore year, and then 55 my junior year, and then senior year I got a bunch of offers to play football, and I'm like, this just doesn't add up. None of this is, and it turns out, Brendan. Ego tour.
I think I saw that.
Don't go on one of those, man. They're awful. No, for vacation, it's ruined.
No, it's I hate a ego tour.
So do I, man.
I actually signed up. I don't know if you know this. I signed up for an eco tour. I paid my money. I paid a deposit. This was just after college, and we go on the eco tour, and it's just sort of these sad kids at the mall, and they were wearing all black, and they were listening to the
oh no, man! Did you go?
It was an emo tour. It was an emo tour.
An emo tour?
Yeah,
that must have been awful.
Horrible, man. Or they made
just boring, and
they made us paint our nails black, man. It was
that is
terrible.
Man. And now that we're talking about it, I the next year you think I would have learned my lesson, right? And then I just go and I spend a bunch of money. We get out to they take us out to L.A. Cool enough, right? But we're just going around the old studio of 21 Jump Street, and then the reboot 22 Jump Street. I wound up going on a Richard Grieco tour, and it was terrible, man.
Although I will be honest with you. Better than an eco tour. Better.
Yeah, I'd rather go on a Richard Grieco tour than an eco tour. Good point, Brendan.
Yeah.
Good point. Before we leave Tuesday, I do need to bring up this is a moment from our past, and I thought 53 across. We should sort of go over this again because it's been a while. Japanese drama.
Yeah.
That's no.
Sure.
And if you guys don't know, it's sort of the opposite of American improv, where the rule in American improv is no matter what the actor says, your partner in the scene says you agree with them and go further. It's called yes-anding, whereas in Japanese drama, Brendan and I will reenact it. So, hey, Brendan, it's good to be working at this ice cream shop.
We are not at an ice cream shop, Greg.
Okay, well, it's fun being in the circus, though, man.
We're not in the circus. No. Greg.
I was kind of looking for more of a Japanese angle on it, Brendan. Why don't you go ahead and do it?
Okay.
You'll be the first actor.
This is crazy. Just two guys guarding the zoo at nighttime.
No.
Harry, we are guarding the zoo, so I don't.
No.
Okay, well, I must have been mistaken. We're actually just two fellas here at the museum guarding the
No, museum, no. One of our more stupid.
But I gotta say,
and a highlight of this podcast,
much like the Richard Grieco tour, better than improv. Me and our buddy Andrew Collin once. He was kind of fiddling around with improv a little bit, and I go, "I'll do a 2-man improv with you." At like, stand-up comics, we just call them open mics. Improv people, of course, have to call them improv jams. And I go,
"Oh yeah, jam."
I go,
yeah.
I'll do a 2-man improv with you. And I know none of the rules of improv, and the two of us just said no to everything. It was Greg. It was two guys up there doing separate scenes. I mean, it was.
Oh God.
And it was pretty good. 10 across, and then we got to move to Wednesday. Form of jazz. That's bop. And do you think there's any do you think bop guys get mad? They're at shows and people are just requested. They're calling out other kinds of jazz, like play some swing. I do bop. Like how
I thought it was bebop. I didn't know it was bop.
There's bebop. There's hard bop. I looked it all up, but you asked.
Oh,
these
really?
guys,
There is.
Hey,
just
how about
bop?
a little fusion, Terry? I'm a bop man.
I only do bop.
Come on. Cool jazz. Shut your mouth or I will leave.
Yeah, I played saxophone in high school, and I was in a.
I thought you played clarinet.
Clarinet and sax.
Oh wow! I didn't know you did both.
Clarinet and alto and tenor, and I played a little baritone sax.
Wow!
Too. But I was invited to be into this jazz group. It was a bop group, and I didn't know what it was. And I thought it'd be fun, And I'm in like my first solo, right? I get my first solo, and I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm doing well. And my partner right next to me pulls out one of those whack-a-mole mallets and just bops me right over the head. And it turns out that's what bop jazz is.
That is not far from not far at all from the award-winning film Whiplash. If you haven't seen it, pretty much what that guy was up to.
Fantastic.
Yes, J.K. Simmons, so good. That guy's great, man.
So good.
Wednesday, February 3rd was a Jacob Janas, and essentially the puzzle was about civil rights icon John Lewis. It had various trivia and facts about his life built into the answers. And I believe the last sort of strictly biographical theme in this vein we saw was a Ruth Bader Ginsburg puzzle that was along the same lines. But these ones are always interesting.
Oh yeah. These
ones are always interesting. Yes. You learn something. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it's there was a lot of cool stuff in there, I thought. Brendan, are you ready for another installation of Battle of the Overused Crossword Words?
I love that.
20 down, Ancient Andeans, Incas. 22 across, Elf's Foe in Lord of the Rings, Orc. Which one is more overused?
This is a toss-up, man. This is a huge toss-up. I think maybe my brain is being swayed by the fact that Inca has been getting hit on heavily lately. But I think overall Orc might be the bigger culprit. But man, these are head-to-head. You know what? Inca.
I support you. Nice choice.
You.
Nice choice. 15 down. I got to go to the bathroom. So kill some time.
Okay, will do. That is not the actual clue for 15 down. That is Greg leaving the podcast to go to the bathroom, leaving me on my own, which, as always, is a treat for our listeners. Get rid of Greg for a while. Let the king talk. Now, I'd like to go back. While Greg's gone, I'm going to go back to Tuesday, February 2nd, and talk about 40 down. That's containing tin. And the answer is Stanek, which was a new word for me. I did not know about Stanek and never heard that. So that was, you do these crosswords and you learn. You do these puzzles and you learn. But the one word I did know, similar in the vein of Stanek, was standpick. Stanek refers to something containing tin. Standpick refers to a movie containing Stanley Tucci. You want to watch Spotlight? Sure, I love a standpick. And Greg is back.
I'm back, man. And Brennan, I was taking a look at the message boards. They said you did a fantastic job carrying the show by yourself.
What I wanted to tell you, Greg, is now we're back to Wednesday, folks. I took a trip back to Tuesday to get one in because I wanted my Wednesdays you to hear. 27 across, popular cryptocurrency. That is, of course, Bitcoin. And I don't know what you've got tied up in Bitcoin. Keep your finances to yourself. I don't want to pry, but it is popular. And you know me, I try to avoid herd mentality. So I am pretty heavily invested in unpopular cryptocurrencies, Greg. Yes.
Really? What do you
I've got a lot of money in electro bucks.
Yeah.
I'm heavily invested in fakemoney.com. Yeah.
Wow. That's Parker Brothers.
Robot Doe
is behind
Robot
that,
Doe 3000 is one that I'm big on. So yeah, I think these things are going to take off. If I were you, I'd say if I would say anything to the listeners, listen, Bitcoin, that wave has crested. You got to get into fakemoney.com. Okay, this thing is.
Yeah, I'd put my. Yeah, I didn't even know about fake. I had all mine in Spitcoin, and doesn't seem to be working out. But
listen,
you got to stay in these things for the long haul.
You gotta buy these stocks like you're gonna keep them forever. That's what Warren Buffett says, and that applies to Spitcoin.
Being able to remotely work from the comfort of your home is great, but not being near coworkers at your office can lead to delays in completing projects. One way to make sure your workflow stays on track is to use Monday.com. Monday.com allows you to track work projects, collaborate anywhere, and manage your workload. With it, you can see when certain projects are complete, what your team members are working on, and when you can expect projects to be finalized. While my team has been working from home, we've been able to view all of our projects that people are working on, and it's cut meeting times and prevented projects from slowing down or being bottlenecked. On top of bringing teams together, Monday.com also knows how important it is to integrate with other services that a business might use. Monday.com works great with services like G Suite, Zendesk, Facebook ads, and more. So if you want your team to be more effective than ever, visit Monday.com for a free 2-week trial.
Yep. 9 across, bookend letters of Google Maps appropriately. GPS, kinda. Those aren't really bookend letters. I mean, I know I'm splitting hairs here, but bookend letters would be GS.
Right. Yes,
P is not a bookend. It's within the. It's a book.
Yeah, that's one of the books. Unless you're talking about you're running some kind of system where you got different sized bookends. I don't know what that's about. You know that.
Oh yeah. I
don't know who's doing that.
Usually they're matching.
They better be. Or they better be, if you're my mom, you get 2 initials, like 2 different letters.
I got you.
But I'll tell you what, there's not 2 letters on one side, 1 letter on the other side.
I've seen that bookcase over at your mom's house. She got your brother's initial on one side and your sister's on the other one. And I'm like, where's Brendan? And she's like,
Yeah, I'll tell you where I am. Every single book is about me. Now 48 across.
Boy, that's a boring library. That's
48 across. Trickster. That's the devil. It's a bit of an understatement. But did I ever tell you about the run-in I had with the devil?
No.
Yeah, and this is absolutely happened to me, not anyone else. But it was down in Georgia. I was minding my own business, Greg. I was
All right.
I was.
Let me cut to.
I was playing my fiddle hot.
chase here.
I was playing my fiddle.
All right, this is not you. You do this all the time.
This
You
happened to me, man.
You co-opt stories. You co-opt country songs, and you pretend like it's your life.
Greg, I was playing my fiddle hot. I was down at the crossword. Who should come along but the devil?
I let you go until I heard the word fiddle, and I'm not going for this again. I'm tired of it, man.
Okay. I guess the listeners will never know how that story ended.
Last week you were talking about in your childhood when you lived along the Chattahoochee and it got hotter than a hoochie coochie. And it's not you.
You remind me. Did I tell you about 2 weeks ago? I was sitting on the dock of the bay, and
no.
Okay,
No,
Thursday, February 4th. This was a Derek Allen puzzle. Essentially, the theme was songs with colors in the name. The colors were put into one square, so you wrote the whole color out in one square, and they ended one song and started another. For instance, you had Paint It Black, and then Black or White, and then White Wedding, Bodak Yellow, which, man, threw me for it. Because, I listened to rap, and I didn't even know that. Kodak Yellow.
Neither did I. Still don't.
But Bodak Yellow, Yellow Submarine, so on. So, pretty cool Thursday theme.
Remember when we first got to doing puzzles before we even did the podcast, we just thought that Rebus stuff was garbage. We thought it was unfair. Yeah. And now I kind of enjoy it, man. I got to tell you.
I hate to say it, but I'm with you.
Yeah, I like them. And I've gotten pretty good at them. You know what they're calling me on the message boards right now? Rebus McIntyre.
Well, you might be good, but you know what they're calling me?
What's that?
Rebus Christ.
We just lost every listener. Every listener. It's over.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, man. I didn't find a lot funny about that Thursday puzzle.
Well, I got a very embarrassing admission to make.
Okay.
26 across, blank, XING. And the answer is PED, P-E-D. And until yesterday, when I was writing jokes, I swear to God, Greg, I thought that was a Chinese gentleman I was unfamiliar with.
Ped Ching.
Yeah, because I guess pedestrian crossing, you don't see that as much anymore, that written out like that. Yeah. So I honestly was like, well, I guess I just don't know that guy. Moving on.
That's that's dumb. That's right up there with Sutrex.
69 across where the Iditarod ends, and that's of course the famous Alaskan sled dog race, and that's in Nome. And it's funny that this week we should have such similar experiences. This is a lot like when you signed up for an eco tour. Did I ever tell you how I tried to sign up for the Iditarod?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
I accidentally signed up for the Idiot-a-rod. And the problem with that. Basically, it's the same race.
The problem with that is this whole premise.
Basically, the same race, but they do it in the desert. And the thing is,
with the sleds and
no
the dogs?
one's ever made it farther than 20 feet. The dogs quit immediately. It is a horrible race. A horrible race. And I lost even. I don't even know how I lost because no one finished.
Yeah. The idiot arrived.
Like you said, not a lot to go on Thursday.
I had like two dumb ones, but we just have been doing a lot of silly this podcast, and I cannot go silly again on Thursday. We got to give it a
Well, then let me
rest.
ask you a question, because this is more of a serious question. Now, this was actually a little bit before your time, comedy-wise, but you know a lot about comedic history. 33 Down, 1991 hit by Michael Jackson. That's black or white. Now, given Michael Jackson, who Michael Jackson is, how many stand-ups had bits about Michael Jackson doing a song called Black or White? Was it as prevalent as I think it must have been?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't.
I know it
comedy
was a
in
little
81,
before your
Brendan. I was
before you were doing
13
right.
years old.
It was a little
you
before
know?
your comedic, but
I mean, there was a lot of Michael Jackson bits in the 90s.
sure,
I can tell
sure.
you.
But I
that.
feel like Black or White. It must have been like every guy had a
Joe
bit.
Piscopo had a. SNL did this thing on what was it? It's not that song. It's because that's the one. Black on
Yeah.
white.
Well, my thinking is there would be
But what's the one where he did with Paul McCartney?
Heal the World. Was that Paul McCartney?
No, you are and I am white. Is it?
I don't know.
There, it was. I can't remember. No, it was. I can't remember. Oh no, that was Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder had a song "You Are Black," and I think it was they had somebody doing Stevie Wonder, and Joe Piscopo was doing Frank Sinatra. And the bit there was like, "You are black and I am white. You're as blind as a bat and I have sight." It was like right in my high school years or middle school years, and I was like, "This is hilarious, man."
Yeah, Joe Piscopo was funny, man.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Joe Piscopo. Let's skip over to Friday, February
Friday.
5th. The return of the king, baby. Eric Agard. He's back. We haven't seen Agard. I don't know what he's been doing. We haven't seen much of Agard. It's a classic themeless Friday, of course.
He almost got me.
It was a tough one.
I'll tell you where he almost got me, Brendan. 58 down, major export of Kenya, tea. You don't know how long I tried to fit marathon runners into that three square.
Yeah. Middle distance medalists does not fit.
Yeah, it's real tricky, but I tried.
The number, when you see the U.S. Olympic like middle distance to distance team, the number of guys where you're like, is that fair that you just like we're cheating? They weren't born here. You know, like we are cheating. We somehow shortcutted them to citizenship and stole them from Kenya. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm all for people becoming citizens. I'm just saying, you would think there might be some animosity on the global scale of saying like, hey, I'm not so sure that guy is American. 16 across, rockabye locale. And that's Treetop.
Yeah.
Man, this guy, he was pretty lucky he was pre-child protective services. Big time, because I think
CPS would have come down hard
when he debuted this song
stuff,
to his buddy, he goes, rockabye baby. And it's a good start, man. I like where you're headed in a treetop. What?
No. We're gonna get lambasted.
Hold on. When the wind blows.
What are you doing now? Now you're blowing the kid out of the tree.
The cradle will drop.
What? No, man.
It's the classic when you put your baby up in a tree.
Do you know all these mothers groups out there? We're gonna get killed.
You're not putting the baby up in the tree.
Start over. Put him in a manger or something. I don't know.
That, looking back, that also wasn't that safe. You had horses chewing on them. The whole thing.
Yeah. Went.
I got
this is an unpleasant. It's unpleasant. It's an unpleasantry, but I need to do it right here.
Get it out.
40 down. Beyonce became one in 2003. That's a solo act. Brendan, a lot of rumors on the message boards, a lot of rumors with some of our friends that you are going to break off from this podcast and create your own crossword puzzle comedy podcast as a solo act. Is that true?
Absolutely no truth to those rumors whatsoever, and I want to make it crystal clear that Two Across is not available wherever you get your podcasts, and I don't want anyone to subscribe, check out, or listen to.
You're calling it Two Across.
I'm not. I'm saying there's no such thing. It does not exist.
Man.
Two Across is not a podcast that is very popular.
I knew it. I knew it.
I'd like to nominate for Clue of the Week 57 Across pair of rings. That's tag team. I thought that was a clever clue.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
All right, so we got a nomination there. This was a problem for me. 9 down. Another good clue, by the way. 9 down. Underground rap. That's secret knock.
Yeah.
I really blew that when I was running a underground criminal lair. Greg, do you want to know what I went with?
What's that? Yeah, man,
it's the number one secret knock, man. Guys were getting in left and right. The cops came right in. Some people were just knocking like that because that's how they knock. I went with the ...
Yeah. ...
Don't do that.
Yeah. It's you should have gone with something else.
No, I blew it. And they busted us big time. Luckily, we were just running.
Yeah?
We were just running.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing because you would have got into some more serious
at the
crime.
time we were just doing hamster races. So really, it was a misdemeanor deal.
That reminds me, and this is you know how you tell some stories where you get angry and you realize you're being a jerk and pathetic, but still, I'm going to admit my anger. I ordered Grubhub, which right away you're a privileged person that's a jerk, anyways. You know, somebody's out there delivering food during a pandemic.
Well, if you tip them properly, I think it's okay. Yeah,
I tip pretty well.
I think it's okay.
It's just what you're just. It's one of those things. It might have been when I had COVID. I don't know if I've said that on the podcast. I did have it, but. When you're quarantined for 10 days, it's just you're in just a weird zone, and you're just anything jars you out of like a trance. So I just like by myself for 10 days, don't leave the house. And the Grubhub guy comes, and of course they don't come in. They just leave your food on the right outside my landing, and they knock. But the guy did like a cute knock. I think he did that one. And I'm just there and he's like, I'm like, just knock, man.
Yeah.
So it made me, I was like, well, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you getting cute for, man?
Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that. That would infuriate me.
Didn't like it. I can't explain why I didn't like it. I mean, the guy he's just trying to have fun in his job, have a little personality.
No, it's the same as the guy that's got a Dunder Mifflin shirt on. It's like your personality is your personality. You don't let a T-shirt or a knock be your personality. That's it. And if your knock is going to be your personality, get one that's not the most common knock. That's the known knock. ... That's knock number one, man. That's the first knock. Trust me, I learned these hamster races. They were making big bucks. Shut down.
Hamster races, man. It's a good thing you got out of that business. Let's go to Saturday.
February 6th was Cameron Austin Collins, themeless. Right off rip, I got a question for you here, Greg. I was confused by 17 Across. Nice pair of boxers. The answer was pecs. Now,
Brendan, I had the same question for you. I thought you'd be able to answer it. I don't understand. You don't use your pectoral muscles to. They come in play when you're boxing.
Really, no. And what I think they're saying, what I think they mean is that a boxer generally possesses a nice pair of pecs. I think that must be what they mean.
I don't believe that at all. I think this is a flawed clue unless you and I are.
Well, I think that's what they're getting at, and that's just not true, man. A lot of boxers have somewhat underdeveloped chests because you don't really. That's not a primary boxing muscle,
right?
Really. So, it confused me for some time.
Don't care for that clue at all.
No,
and
the interesting thing about that is there's so many clues, pecs. So many clues you could have made up for pecs. You know, like that one was a stretch. But third, go ahead, please.
14 across. Princess of Monaco. That's Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan, I am late to the party on this one, but let me tell you something about all these princesses of Monaco. Real lookers.
You think I don't know that? You think?
Wow.
You think I don't keep on top of the royal looks ratings book every year?
You have got to be good looking to be a princess of Monaco.
Yeah.
I think it started with Grace Kelly, but man,
a long line of beautiful women.
Real lookers.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Stephanie dated Rob Lowe.
It's essentially just a principality where all they got are parties on yachts and a F1 race once a year and a casino.
Yeah.
That's all of Monaco. Of course it's a beautiful woman. It's a they put her on billboards, I'm sure. That's what you got to be beautiful to be the princess of Monaco.
Pretty girls.
Because there's not a lot else going on in Monaco.
If we got young men out there that are listening, and I know we do, I recommend you guys, while you're young, try to date one of these princesses of Monaco.
I would second that recommendation, and I don't think it's that hard. You go to Monaco, there's not that many people there. You're going to bump into the princess, and sure, you're up against all of the world's billionaires, but that's your appeal. You know, you're gruff, you're rough and tumble.
Yeah.
It's like
common man, a man's man of the people.
I've seen Aladdin. That guy was a common street thief.
Yeah. I mean, Slumdog Millionaire.
Same deal. Yeah.
Story.
No, actually, not even nowhere near that. He just won on a game show.
But I mean, he was a commoner.
Oh, sure, but
she wasn't a princess. But she was
right.
A commoner.
I didn't.
She was very beautiful.
There was even a girl in that. I was Slumdog Millionaire, the guy that won the
beautiful.
Oh, okay,
Sulema, I believe is her name. No, that was from that was same actor. Another that was the hotel movie. Sorry.
You're getting, man, you are getting to be like my mom. The hotel movie. Mom, I don't. There's.
It's the movie. It's it's a really long. Title.
Right. 31.
It's not as long as "Don't Be Drinking Your Juice in the Hood."
Yeah.
It's Best Marigold Hotel, I believe.
I think there's even another word in there or something like that. But 31 down. What a mule kicks with.
Oh, you're talking about Best Marigold Hotel 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. What a mule kicks with. That in 31 down. That's hind foot. That's true. Unless you're talking about Muladinho.
The Best Exotic Marigold.
Yes, the best. I knew there was another.
Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. I have figured out now. I didn't know this until 51 years old. I really struggle with the word marigold. Marigold.
Well, I hope it was worth stepping on my Muladinho joke, which is the greatest mule soccer player of all time. He did not kick with his hind feet. He could kick with all feet. And, of course, he played for AC Milan. And, it was worth it to step on that joke.
Best Exotic Marigold Hotel was directed by John Madden.
That was unexpected. That old Madden came out of retirement to direct that.
Yeah.
What if we added an offensive line?
If only Frank Caliendo was a part of our podcast, he would do a great John Madden right now. I'm gonna get. I'm going to say something ignorant. I'll just, if you don't like ignorance, just go ahead and take a breather. 18 Across chronicles from a feminist perspective, her stories. I don't want to cast aspersion on feminists or women, but I bet some of those stories are pretty long.
Man, you accuse.
I just
You,
lost all
you
of our.
accuse me.
I'm not
you
saying
accused
that-
me
I'm
of
not
losing
saying-
listeners for bringing up a valid Star Wars point.
Yes, I just killed us. I'm not saying women tell long stories.
Oh, you're not.
I'm just
That's
saying
exactly what you're saying.
that's now. Let me clarify. I'm not saying, but if you think of if you take the time to say chronicles from a feminist.
Yeah, dig yourself out
I'm
of
not
this
sure
one.
if we're going to leave. I said I was going to be ignorant. It just, I'm playing the ignorant guy, making a joke.
Yeah. Real tongue in cheek. Man, this is feminism at its best, showing.
Not sure. Now, some of you may hear this, and then we may also cut this out. I haven't decided yet.
Let's jump to Sunday, February 7th. This was a Katie Hale.
Hold on. I had a couple
Okay,
more things.
reversing.
Couple more things. What do you think you're doing? 7 Across. What do you think you're doing? Hey, that's it. Sort of I mean, I actually got it, but it is. Hey, that reminds me of when we were wrestling. My friend Chip Bunner was a freshman, and the older guys used to tease him quite a bit. In the van, we used to take van trips all over the country, and they were ripping him pretty good. And Chip's big comeback back then, this guy Craig Martin was messing with him a lot. His big comeback was, "Hey, Martin." That was that.
Hey,
That was his big comeback.
hey, hey.
Hey, Martin. 28 Across, informal address at school, teach. We've covered this on this podcast before. Brendan, if a kid refers to his teacher as teach, how's the future look for that
Not
kid?
bright. Not only does it not look bright, the correct clue for the answer is informal address at school, exclusively in a movie or sitcom from the 80s. Never been done in real life. Exclusively in... Hey, teach, what's with yesterday's assignment?
70s too. I think
70s.
Welcome Back Kotter debuted in the 70s. I think. I think if somebody says "Yo, teach," they're either in a movie or they're destined to rob liquor stores.
Right.
That's
Right.
I think we've covered this before. Finally, 32 Across, Charles blank, how Angelo Siciliano is better known. That's Atlas, Charles Atlas.
Great strongman.
Bodybuilder. Interestingly enough, horrible with directions.
Wow. Did not know that. So to pick the wrong, but great with Italian cooking. So
I lost all of our female listeners with an ignorant joke, and then I just lost all the rest of our listeners with a really stupid, silly Charles Atlas joke.
Well, hey,
we're just talking to nobody right now, Brendan.
I
That's
did
fine.
a Muladinho joke. That was a mule soccer player.
Yeah, but as a friend, I cut you off. We didn't know.
Well, you
nobody
cut
really
me off
heard it,
before
'cause
the good part was that he played for AC Milan. Repeating it in case anyone missed it. Very good. As opposed to AC Milan.
Do you remember that? Do you remember when you did that? I did hear it, and I moved on.
Yes, that's why I did it again.
Sunday.
February 7th. Katie Hale, Christina Iverson. The puzzle was titled Toddler Talk. Essentially, W's were substituted for R's in a way that a toddler might talk to create pun answers. So, for example, a clue was accept payment from Batman, and the answer was take a Wayne check instead of take a rain check. You had an elephant in the womb instead of room. Hit walk bottom instead of rock bottom. get witch quick instead of rich.
One of my favorite ones. Get witch
Yeah.
quick was great. It reminded me of my friend Chad Huff, who did comedy for a while, and I don't think Chad does comedy anymore. But just that sentence, "get witch quick." Chad said he was a boss at some job, and he was responsible for sort of sorting out the resumes or the applications. And there was a question that said, "Why did you leave your previous position?" And this guy wrote, "Whoop boss ass."
Yeah, that's grounds to leave. No,
one of the most succinct sentences ever written.
Yeah.
Whoop boss
Yeah,
ass. Yep, I know this guy. I definitely know.
That's like that's sort of like, and I think this is an urban myth, but like you always would hear about that there was an essay portion of the like for a Harvard application, and the question was, "What's the bravest thing you've ever done?" And some kid just wrote, "This." Period. and apparently got in, but I think
He should have got a scholarship. God, that's great, man. That's so good.
Now, 27 across. I always have trouble with this word because I only read it. I never say it. But eponymous Irish city, is that right? Eponymous?
I think so.
Irish city, and that's Limerick. Of course, they mean eponymous because it's also a type of poem. Greg, I took a crack at a limerick, if you'd like to hear it.
Okay.
There once was a cast.
Hold on. You tend to sort of cross over the lines.
No, there's no woman from Nantucket in this one.
Is there anybody from Nantucket in this entire?
There's no one from Nantucket.
Nobody's from Nantucket.
No.
Right,
there once was a cast called One Down, hosted by Greg and some clown. They tried their best to truly jest, but most of the listeners still frowned.
That is a good limerick, my friend.
Thank you.
Way to go. Wow, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Well done, man. Well done. 100 across, 100 across. What a stoner actor smoked during rehearsals. Weed between the lines. Kind of funny. And I thought I'd share a joke from one of our favorite comedians, Mitch Hedberg.
I love Mitch.
I don't know if you ever heard this bit, and it's a true story. I guess Mitch, he had a role in That 70s Show one time. He had, as an actor, and he had like a guest role, and he was sitting with Tommy Chong, who was one of the actors in That 70s Show. I can't remember the guy's name, but the character's name. But he said, "Yeah, I was in a TV show with Tommy Chong, and they called, the scene called for them to be smoking pot, and he said, and they gave us fake pot." He goes, "So I was sitting next to Tommy Chong smoking fake pot." He goes, "I would have never thought that was a thing that would have happened to me. I would have thought it would be much more likely that I was sitting next to a guy that looked like Tommy Chong smoking real pot."
Yeah, that's funny. That's true, too. That's funny.
Yeah, it's so good, man.
106 down, the Apostle of Ireland, familiarly, and that's St. Pat. And, of course, St. Patrick, famous for driving the snakes out of Ireland.
Yeah, chase the snakes
You think he got back to the Vatican, and he told them, and just some bishop had to go. How many snakes were there to begin with? And he's getting
that guy's a jerk.
Going, What are you, a snakeologist? Okay, there's no snakes there now. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to see what kind of miracle you do. You know what? I'll put the snakes back then, pal. How about that? How about that?
Yeah, no, that's just a wise
just
guy.
a wise
Yeah,
guy.
really,
Yeah.
really. Yeah. If we open this door, okay, was it Saint Brendan chased all the polar bears out of Cleveland? Like
you really want to go down this route, do you, Bishop? All right. Then I do have another clue of the week nomination: 19 down slice of toast, and that's here's to. So a part of a toast. I think that was a pretty clever clue.
I'm nominating Get Witch Quick too. So why don't we let's make that decision?
Did I tell you my harmonica broke? The low end kicked out. I got to get a new harmonica, and I don't even know where the store is. So apologize to that. But what is listening? I want to say Katie Hale, Christina Iverson. You have won the one down clue of the week for Get Witch Quick. Very good one.
Go.
Very good one. Now, I will say this though, Greg. What was the clue on that answer?
Puritans' goal in 17th century Salem.
Let me tell you something about that whole thing. Those guys get a bad rap. Okay, everyone's always knocking the Salem witch trial. Oh, they're
bad rap, like
not the doot. No, just a bad reputation. Everyone's knocking those guys. Oh, they were burning women. They're throwing them in the lake. Guess what? I don't know any witches. Seems like those guys nipped a witch problem right in the bud. Okay, there's not a single witch going around today.
Yeah. Again, that bishop would probably have some questions about that.
Anyway, I have nothing else.
How do you explain Stevie Nicks?
Foiled again, or should I say, epade.
That has been this week's episode of One Down. Stick with One Down. It's the better podcast. Don't go over to those guys at, what is it?
Doesn't exist. Two Across does not exist. And the other thing about Two Across
podcast
is they don't pay you for going and subscribing. They don't pay you $20 per subscription.
No, come on, man. You don't do that.
Yeah, no, they don't do that. They don't do that. And they don't.
We could do that at this podcast. We could come up with $80.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, by the way, if you're interested, I will be back at the great Comedy Attic in Bloomington.
They're not.
What?
One Down is hosted by Greg Warren and Brendan Eyre, produced and edited by John Baldwin. Our theme song is written and performed by Henry Phillips. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast.
One Down, the Comedy Crossword Podcast.
Hey, my dark darlings. Hopefully, you've been enjoying our latest videos. We're a small crew here at Something Scary, so we have to make sure that the work that goes into our episodes gets done in order and on schedule. So that's why I want to tell you about our sponsor, Monday.com. Monday.com is an online teamwork platform that keeps your team connected from anywhere. I really enjoy the visual ease of using Monday.com. It helps banish the demons of confusing email chains or who's doing what and by when. It helps make sure everyone is aligned and on the same page. One of the things that I enjoy the most about Monday.com is that it's customizable, so it feels like it could fit any type of collaboration or industry. Build confidence within your team and reach every goal with ease. Visit Monday.com to start your free 2-week trial.